stand is fine, and maybe start by looking at the camera. And, so what I'm going to do is I'll introduce us, and then I'll kind of ask you what we're doing and let you take it away, and then every now and then I'll chime in.
Okay, so we're going live on Zoom?
We're going live, no, we're going live. The camera, you're sending the feed to us, we're switching the feed, and then we're sending it out to an organization called Restream, which is then sending it out to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, the LEDI. Not sending it to your Instagram right now.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right.
Great.
So,
Loose.
yeah, hold on. I guess I have to do a different. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Yeah, okay. Are you ready, Jagger? All right. Tell Jill to start the live stream on all of them. Jagger, can you let me know when that's done? Welcome to Lauren Bergman Live, the LEDI Experience. I'm Michael Artsist, joined by Lauren Bergman, who's in Saugerties, New York, in her studio. I'm here at LEDI Experience, and we have, you know, just some fun streaming for you guys. Lauren's going to take us through what she's doing, and she's going to paint with us. We're going to get a lot of great experience with Lauren. And Lauren, today it seems like you're working on your next painting, but not in a form. You're working on it in a small form factor. What's going on?
Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to invite you into my studio, and I'm going to be talking about my project, goals, a participant in the LEDI experience, Lives Illuminated, Dreams Illuminated, and I'm starting a painting of this girl. This girl is named Regine. Her name was Regine Adelson. She was Jewish, lived in Paris, and was murdered in the Auschwitz camp. And I'm looking to both honor her memory and warn society what happens when hatred is left unchecked.
Lauren, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
And I'm starting her painting. I had the idea that in 1940, the fall of 1940, Disney released Fantasia, the animation masterpiece Fantasia, that is just so enchanting and colorful and imaginative. And I'm imagining, this girl clearly from a family that might have gone to see the movie Fantasia. She's clearly from a more well-to-do background. And so Fantasia is just so full of whimsy. Put her a kind of maybe an underworld garden with fish and bubbles, and I'm out small, just roughing in my ideas.
So LEDI stands, and it seems to me this is the way you the girl. You've got, and I see maybe Little Mermaid in there as well. But do you rewatch Fantasia? How do you come? I know you said you feel her family may have taken her to Fantasia. In your mind, I mean, obviously you create kind of a backstory and a line to come up with their lives reimagined, but do you, when you have something like Fantasia, I haven't seen Fantasia probably in 25 years, do your memory of seeing Fantasia come up with what we have here?
Honestly, memories of Fantasia. I would love to rewatch it, but I'm tapped into my own memories of seeing it when I was very young.
So how?
It really has nothing to do with Fantasia per se. It's just that when she was living, when things were good in her life before the onslaught of a genocide, that kind of animation and fantasy exists, part of the culture.
Exactly. And question already from one of the commenters. His name is Brian, and he wanted to know what the next step is here. Done, or is there more work on this? And if there's more work, let's talk as you work.
Okay. Well, I'm going to sit down here and working the colors I've selected. I usually use a very minimal palette of titanium white, cadmium red, cadmium blue, raw umber, and black. I wanted more fantastical colors, so I added in turquoise blue, which is, lends itself to kind of a fantasy color, and some yellow ochre. And so I'm just going to start in her to have a paint glass, and
now maybe the viewers
I love painting.
Can suggest some colors to you. I was going to say maybe the viewers can suggest some colors to you. The paint, but maybe they can pick some of the other elements. And again, this is just a starting point because you're going to really expand upon this to make it a big painting. So that
right. This is the mocking.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting process to see. Why do you start with starting on a canvas or a big wood as you do?
I like to start small, just for my sketch, just to get the idea down It's faster, it's more immediate, it's, you know, I don't get bogged down. It's too small to get too worried about. I can just like, you know, fairly loose and just kind of, I'm just going to lay in a mid-tone. I don't know if any of you have listened to me before. All painting is of the middle tone, the shadows, and the lights. So whatever you're painting, it's just a balance of those three elements. Putting in the middle, just blocking in where her dress is.
You just go over the lines?
And yeah, that's just pencil, and I seal the pencil with a fixative, a non-toxic fixative, and so then the pencil doesn't smudge, and so I can just loosely go in and lay down the midtones. And I'm really not worrying about anything except the basic shape of the dress. And working on a painting that, you know, it doesn't exist in reality. So when you think about a light source, what is causing the highlights and the shadows? It's when you're working real life or a live model, you can control your light source and see how does the light move around the form. This I'm making up out of my head, so I kind of make up my own light sources. There has to be a logic to the light, but it's loose because it's an illogical painting.
I just realized not underwater. I originally thought she's underwater. Is she underwater or not underwater in your mind?
That, in my mind, could be.
Could be either.
It's fantastical. Yeah, it could be either. I asked myself that question, and I'm being rather deliberate about not wanting to answer that definitively. So I'm going to leave it up to the viewer to make their own decision.
I like that. That's interesting.
Okay, so I've blocked in the tone. And then I'm going to use a small brush because so I'll go in and just start painting. The fabric goes in, where I'm imagining the fabric to go in.
not shadows, or they are shadows? Maybe they kind of are shadows as the
Yeah,
fabric
they're
goes in.
like, yeah, the light is in these areas.
You spend quite a deal of time on these paintings.
Compared to the big paintings, not much time at all. If I spend a couple days on the sketch, yeah, that's hours. That's maybe 10, 16 hours I'll spend on the sketch. But compared to the amount of time I'll be spending on the big painting, which is 4 to 6 weeks, for me, it's definitely helpful to spend that initial to out the position, the color balance. I mean, things change, believe me, when I start working big. Sometimes things that are small, they don't in a lot. I just, maybe when I dress won't be.
You don't have to really erase much. You can just paint over because of oil and the board. Craig is watching on Facebook, and he said this looks amazing, and he can't believe how fast it's coming. Although you've said, this could be several days of work, and obviously you've already put work into this. He wanted to know how detailed you get on the face. You said you didn't get detailed on this, and we're watching you put in the shadows, which is really great. But how true will the face be when you are done with this? And I guess we'll see this evolution, which will be nice. But how's it to get on the face?
I don't know if you can see the pencil sketch. I can jump to that. Leave these shadows. See, the dress starts taking on dimension. Let me just put in a couple highlights so you can see, you put in some highlights.
Obviously, there's dry, right?
And things start. Yeah, the oil paint takes, a couple days.